I was ready to go catch the guy. I mean, I was like,
Why didn't you do it?
Yeah.
I would have done anything.
His whole fucking family first
Yeah.
before he decided to go catch him.
It's like these backwoods of the Appalachian Trail in North Carolina. It's probably not too far. He probably actually set up camp, like, in one of the little spots there. He's probably around there. He's not just like randomly at 12 a.m. just driving on a dirt road in the Appalachian Trail and then just going to, hightail it out on an interstate. No, he's probably still around that area.
I made 6 calls to law enforcement. I was like, somebody call me back, And so, that...
He basically just saw a guy with a beard. You'll see. He wasn't even bald.
What the fuck?
Well, he wasn't able to confirm that he was bald. You'll see. He didn't know what Brian Laundrie looked like before seeing him. So it's only afterwards he's like, oh yeah, I think that was Brian Laundrie. It wasn't like he actually, had a good idea of what Brian Laundrie looked like. He admitted it. He was like, I had no idea what he really looked like. I just knew that they were looking for somebody, and I told somebody I was talking to some guy with a beard. And then they're like, well, maybe it was Brian Laundrie. This is what he looked like. And he's like, oh yeah, it was Brian Laundrie. It's a lot different when you actually have that image ingrained and kind of like branded into your mind. I think we both seen enough footage of him where we would be able to spot, Brian Laundrie if he was looking exactly the same. Shaved head, a beard, generally looking the same. I think we both could spot him in a lineup, and probably most of you. But if you just never saw him before, never knew anything about the guy, then all of a sudden someone's like, oh yeah, they're looking for some guy with a beard, and being like, oh wait, that was him. It's a lot different experience because then you think back and you're making the image that you're seeing fit what you're trying to remember back to. It's less clear of a connection is the point. So that's the first thing. Second thing is what he's going to be saying in a second here.
Not just, face and everything, but the voice. And I agreed that it was him.
Okay. There is a big red flag too.
Why?
So he just said that, well, they sent him an audio clip of Brian Laundrie. And he's like, oh yes. And the voice was the same too. So it wasn't just the face. Instead of actually showing a lot of emphasis and a lot of, conviction of like, oh my gosh, that his voice was exactly the same. Like it was. What he just said was like, oh yeah, and the voice matched too. It wasn't like as much a surprise. It should be like shocking. He should be remembering that as a shock, but he's not.
He kind of wants to believe he saw
exactly.
Brian.
I think he just wants to believe it. It's also after the fact. He's remembering back to a voice. That's hard. It's not like, he has a very nasally voice. It's not any very thing distinct. It's just like, just a normal guy's voice. It's not as distinct for somebody who hasn't been following the case. Maybe for you and I, we can recognize the voice a little bit more because I've been poring over the body camera footage and looking at that very, very closely. But anyone else, some guy that has never seen the footage before, he's just given the footage and be like, oh yeah, that's his voice. After the fact, no, it's less reliable.
Probably people that are out there that are doubting what I'm...
Here's another thing. Don't be mean to the guy. We're just poking fun at him because, he wants to say this, fine. Then we're going to poke holes through it of why it doesn't make any sense. But I think it's also wishful thinking because if he were to take a moment and just stop, he would be looking at all this and be like, oh, maybe this doesn't make sense. Oh, maybe it wasn't him. Or maybe I'm not 99.99% sure it's Brian Laundrie. Come on.
I doubt he'll look back at it. Yeah. I think he's just enjoying this.
Yeah.
I just want to kind of tell people that, I didn't ask for this. I had...
Oh, he fell into it.
Poor guy.
He fell into breaking the case wide open. This gets so bogus. This is just the start, ZZ.
It hasn't even started
Guys,
yet.
this is just the start. It gets so bogus.
Are we being mean?
No, we're not being mean.
Okay, cool.